YouTube, welcome to a chat video, or probably a rant, we'll see. But this is about 2021 and how it started, and how badly it's going. Basically, I'm going to call this video Boris Johnson has failed, because I personally believe he has. At first, and I won't lie about it, I will be honest and hold my hand up and say I fully supported Boris Johnson, and I think everyone should have at the beginning of this. I don't care if you're as Labour as whatever, or as Tory as Tory can be. I think everyone should have been supporting Boris Johnson as we go into this, because he didn't ask for a COVID pandemic. He was just chucked it, and for a while he did well. I think he waited to see how bad things got. He thought, yes, now is the time to put us into lockdown. Fair enough. Now is the time, and he gave us all furlough, what everyone seems to forget. So he did well, and he did all right for time over time. But then you have to look and you think, too much now is too much, and too many mistakes is too many mistakes, and over 1,000 deaths a day for the past week, besides weekends, is where you've got to look at him and look at this government and think, you have failed. And I look and I think, who the fuck am I going to vote for in the next general election? Because I don't think anyone would want to vote for this government after how they've handled COVID. It's just not been very good at all. Some things that you still look at and think, oh, they've done well there, they've done well. Such as very well done on the COVID vaccinations, very well done on the continued support and furlough. But on the other hand, the highest death toll in the world, and it doesn't look good for them. So I absolutely would not vote Tory. Although I could say they've tried the best, they've not. They've probably made dicks of themselves. Thing is, before this even started, I didn't know who to vote for. I wouldn't have voted Tory because I don't like Tories. I wouldn't have voted Labour because I think they're deluded. Lib Dem, dead vote. Green Party, no. I'm not racist, so I won't vote UKIP. There you are, there's my options. I would not vote for a single person, because all the policies and all the people and all. One thing I would vote for is fuck politics, but obviously you need it to make the laws and rules and what have you. But hey ho, this government has failed. There has been good points, like I've said, and I focused on them for the majority, because I think the government needed us to focus on them, and the positivity was needed for this country. But they've fucked it. They've well and truly fucked it. There's no positives to take from this government or any government, and the problem is, I think Labour will become in charge next because of how bad this government's done. Labour have done nothing good, nothing of their own merit to deserve to get into power, besides watching Boris Johnson fall apart. And he truly is, and he is useless. I was supporting him, but there's only so much support you can give to someone until the death toll goes over 100,000, or it looks like it's going to. The death toll's the highest in the world. We are one of the smallest countries in Europe, but yet we've got the highest death toll. We have got one of the smaller populations, and we've still got a big population, like bigger than some, but we've got a smaller population than, let's say, France and Spain, Italy, these bigger countries, and America, but yet we've got a much bigger death toll. New Zealand are doing it right, follow their lead, but although I still agree with the fact that the general public are arseholes, Boris, come on. The numbers don't lie. It's not just the public's fault. The public should take responsibility. But Boris now, I think, has got to, even the most Tory has got to support him. I was supporting Boris just because I wanted to support he was the person in charge of the country. He was the person who was trying to get us out of this. Support him, come on, give him a helping hand, give him a push, because he needs help and support, get us through. But he's had a year of my support now, nearly, next month, and look where that's got us. Nowhere. We are in the exact same point. I know we came out over summer last year, but we're in the exact same point we were last year, so what's the point in that? So yeah, Boris, to blame, big style, and his government will have to have a serious hard look at themselves, such as the Dominic Cummings issue, such as the highest death toll in the world issue. Obviously, there's the positives of really good furlough and really good vaccine rollout so far, but it's there's a lot of bads, and the bads outweigh the goods. Because if they'd kept it in lockdown a month longer, all these deaths, a lot of them could have been prevented. If they locked us down through December and then opened up in January now, I think that would have been better. But everything's sort of gone a little bit wrong. So yeah, Boris, I can slag him off as much as I want. I've not got all the time, but I also agree that the general public shouldn't go without their punishment. They're idiots. And I said it in a previous video. They still are idiots. They're fucking. One of my mates was like, "Well, Boris did the Eat Out to Health Out scheme." No, he did that for the right reasons. I don't fault the Eat Out to Help Out scheme. What happened, or what should have happened, is better preparation from the pubs and better everything, better organisation and better booking systems and more sensible behaviour from the public. What I mean by that is every fucker was like, fucking cheap food, let's go to the pub, let's have a drink, let's get pissed, let's get this, that and other. Everyone were going at pubs, everyone were getting a little bit out of hand and a bit stupid. And because of that, everyone was like being stupid. And unfortunately, pubs, where I work included, where I used to work included, rightly so, after such a hard time, don't want to turn any custom at all away because they need it as much as they could, and rightfully so. Again, we all said where I work, I expect us to get back to another lockdown. We were talking about this over the summer when they were Eat Out to Help Out. It says there's going to be another lockdown at this rate. So we were just hell-bent on getting as much money as you can. What meant getting as many people through the doors as you could. What meant more people. What meant more transmission. Obviously, my work's been exceptional. No one at my work, besides someone on Christmas when we were shut anyway, who just caught it through them being with the family, no one's had COVID. The work has been exceptional. That I have been into pubs. I'm not one to brag about how amazing where I work is, but there I've not seen anywhere as well socially distanced and as well set out with a one-way system as what we have. The pub's completely changed. This room's shut off. Honestly, it's like a different pub to where I started working there this time last year. But so well set up. But then we've got the beer garden, obviously outside, loads of space, yes. But what you'll get is we'd get people to pay at the door. We'd have a till on the door so people would queue. Because we didn't want people coming in, bringing in all the fucking COVID or whatever. So they'd be queuing, and instead of having a nice orderly queue, they'd be queuing past, and it was so overcrowded in the garden. And we were just like, this is a nightmare. So I think what needs to be done, as well as blaming, yes, maybe Eat Out to Help Out wasn't the best idea, but it was poorly implemented when I went to pubs while it was on, because I'm going to make the most of it. Everyone did. I booked every single time I wanted to go out to a pub. Every single table booked. There'd be people, you could see people waiting around at bars, and I'm just like, this is not COVID friendly. The idiocy of the public and the poor way of which some pubs, such as Weatherspoons, such as Marston's, chain pubs that don't care about the staff, chain pubs that don't care. I've worked at Marston's, and I can tell you Marston's are useless, and I can tell you Weatherspoons are useless. Where I work, fortunately, is a self-run pub. It's a pub. It's just a pub. It's not a chain. It's not a Hungry Horse. It's not a Weatherspoons, Marston's. You know what I mean? Harvester. They are never usually run as well because they've got people at the top just chucking shit on the people below. And yeah, you could see in Spoons and Marston's, places like that, they were just not as really that good. And that's the problem as well. So, why is COVID so bad? Boris, he can no longer get rid of... I'm no longer going to cut him slack because he deserves it, and I'm sure there will be an investigation into this afterwards, as well as the public, as well as the slowness of what everything's happened. It's been very sluggish from Boris, and I hate to agree with Keir Starmer because he is the biggest arsehole in politics, but he is right. I said I should, and he was very clever when he said it. He says he recommended something, and Boris says no, and then a couple of weeks later, Boris was like, "Yes, we need to do this," and it was what Keir Starmer suggested. If Boris Johnson would have never done what he eventually did do, Keir Starmer would have just, even if it wouldn't have been true, would have gone, well, if we'd have said what I'd have gone, the numbers would have gone down and stayed down, da 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 da. Or after what did happen, Boris eventually did have to put us in lockdown, and then Keir Starmer was saying, well, I suggested this weeks ago. I'm just like, shut up, you pleb. Corbyn's fucked you and your party over. You're nothing. Get rid. I'd like to see him do a better job, but also, could he do a much worse job? No. But I don't think anyone would do a better job. I think whoever was in charge of this country would have done a useless job. Because we are British. That's why. But honestly, Boris, no more support or anything from me for him. He has to have a really hard look at himself and his cabinet, particularly Matt Hancock, who just needs to stop having interviews on television because he makes a cunt of himself. I think he should just stop with all the interviews because Piers Morgan's made Matt Hancock look a cunt more times than I can remember this past year. And yeah, it's just a shit show. It is an absolute shit show. Most deaths in the country, in the world, by country. But then again, there's a lot of negatives. But that's the reason that some Tory fucking Braveheart Tories are like, we're doing amazing, because we are, with COVID rollout vaccine and things like that. So they keep like getting a gold star. It's like the naughty kid in class. They're the naughty kid in class that you look at and you're just like, you are useless. But occasionally they'll do something really good and you'll be like, wow, didn't expect him to get that answer right. And then you're just like, oh, no, he's drop kicked the man in the wheelchair. That's like, fuck's sake. Weird analogy, but you get the message. They're doing so many stupid things, but then every so often they'll like, ooh, they'll shock you and they'll do something good. But there's a lot more bad than good, and you can't support it. But yeah, that is my view on COVID-19 and how it's going. And I guess we all knew that the year would end badly. We were hoping 2020's over yet. 2021, let's do it. Lockdown, like the first one, starting off like 2020 started. I'm writing this year off until 2022, to be fair, because I think that's the best thing to do. Yeah, but these videos, I'm hoping to make one a week, one conversation video a week, and it'll be talking about just the news. And this is the start of it. This could be called like Kingram News. Who's to blame for COVID? Boris. You know, I'm just thinking of ideas, but I've got a structure and a plan. Monday to Sunday, every day, 7 days a week, is my FIFA career mode. Tuesdays will be Dead by Daylight. Fridays will be a Warzone video. And on Sunday, I'm going to do my conversations news over the week. So this week, I'm recording this on Tuesday and you get it on Sunday, but this is just me doing a like news, but it's not such like talking of news over the last week. What this is just me about how shit COVID's been handled. And that's about it, really. I've said what I have to say. Boris is useless, but so is the rest of this country in general. But Boris has got to get more and more slack and got to really get looked at now, to be honest, because you can't keep getting away with this. It's all well and good having quite a few cases, quite a few vaccines handed out, but the number of cases is ridiculous and the number of deaths is absolutely mad. So I think Boris is to blame, but also I do think the numbers would be down more if the country had common sense, what we don't. So Boris is the main man to blame because he makes the rules, but also our country doesn't follow them to the best of its ability. So the public and Boris are to blame. Whereas previous times, I was just like, oh, well, you can moan at Boris, but you're not doing as you're told. Nah, enough of the shit, enough of the fucking pretending to support him. I've supported him long enough. He's done some good things, but there's too much bad he's done. I've tried supporting him, saying, look, he's got a kid, he's got a wife, he's just trying his best. Yeah, he's done all he can, bollocks now. It's not good enough at all. And yeah, so every Sunday, wait for these videos, news, something to rant about, something to talk about, probably COVID related, could be something else related. God knows what's going to happen in 2021, so we shall see what crops up in the news. But thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Like I said, you know my schedule, so you know when to come to my channel and to see what you're after. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I shall see you next week for another news video. Ta-ra!